Education policies by insurance companies, I'm steering well away from. I'm not going to buy those dreams that they sell just to end up standing there with a bag of In this video, I'm going to show you how I plan to save 60,000 Rand for my child's primary school education without breaking the bank in 48 months. Stick around till the end of the video where I'm going to share my clever budgeting hack, how I plan on adding an extra 18,000 Rand on top of the money saved without doing much extra. Let's do this. I need to share the most valuable part of this entire journey. And that's for me to understand why it is that I'm saving in the first place. And then also what I'm going to be using this money for, without knowing whether or not I just have a once-off amount I want to put away, monthly amounts, if I want access to it or not, how long I want to save. There's no point in looking at the different products. So I had to start there way before even looking at any brochures, interest rates, or anything. It was crucial for me to understand this so that I know exactly which product is going to best fit my needs. When I looked at why it is that I want to save, I considered that it's important for me to show Neba how to live within your means. Also to give him a practical example of delayed gratification, and lastly to have consistent habits. Because children do what you do and they don't do what you say they must do, I need to become this kind of person. And in becoming this person, he will ultimately have an example of what I hope for him to follow. Financially, there's also clear benefits because the school offers a discount for those upfront payments, and the saved money can also earn interest, ultimately multiplying the value over time. We figured we've got a lump sum that we want to invest, but we also want to add on to that monthly. Having near immediate access to the funds makes it 10 times harder to save. So to stop myself from spending the money on nonsense, the product that we choose had to be something that can lock the money away up until we need it. We want to at least earn about 8% interest on the savings per year. The capital that we invest needs to be guaranteed as a bare minimum, and the fees need to be low. So those were the requirements that I looked at when considering the different options. With 4 years until he starts primary school, I estimated that we'll need about 40K. So this will cover tuition, uniform, stationery, and maybe even like sports and recreation as well. That would also be included. And yes, I did consider inflation with that. Now, we already have 10,000 Rand saved for his primary school. So to get to the 40,000, we need to save an extra 625 Rand per month for the next 48 months. We're already saving 800 Rand a month, so that shouldn't be an issue. I refuse to touch education policies, right? Not with my money, not with someone else's money, and not with a 10-foot pole. The returns, awful. The fees, they should be criminal. They sell you these dreams only for you to end up with nothing but a bag of So I looked to the banks and I looked at the government retail savings bonds. The two types of savings mechanisms that I considered. One was the fixed deposit account and the notice accounts with the banks. And then with the retail savings bonds, we've got the fixed bonds and we've got the top-up bond option. So basically all the banks, they offer a fixed deposit account, but only Capitec allows you to actually continually contribute to a fixed deposit account on a monthly basis after you've deposited the lump sum. Now they offered almost a good enough return with 7.98% per year for a 48-month fixed account, which is not bad. If my needs were different and I only had a once-off lump sum of at least 10,000 Rand that I wanted to save, then I might consider these other fixed accounts with different banks. But since it doesn't meet my requirements, those banks are dead. KO. Notice accounts, on the other hand, they do allow you to do the whole monthly top-up thing, but then the return rate it's not as competitive. I immediately scratched off Standard Bank and Nedbank because even if you opt for a 60-day notice account, Standard Bank will only give you 7.5% per year and Nedbank will only give you 7.4%. So to the left. Discovery looked quite attractive on a 90-day notice account until I found out they charge fees for EFT payments. Yeah, not gonna happen. African Bank offers an 8.61% on a 32-day notice account for 36 months, which is pretty decent, and that almost met all my requirements until I realized when you give notice on these kinds of accounts, for those 32 days, you're not going to earn any interest. Now, I'm a Gimba when it comes to earning my interest, so I'm not going to give up a month's worth of interest. So no, doesn't meet my requirements. The last consideration is the government retail savings bonds. With a lekker return rate between 9.75 and 11.75 on a fixed deposit account, depending on how long it is that you save the money with them for. But like the banks, it doesn't allow you to top that up monthly, so it's not going to meet my requirements. Maybe if I had a once-off minimum of 10,000 that I wanted to save over a period of 2, 3, or 5 years, I would then look at this along with the bank's fixed deposit options, but it doesn't meet my requirements, so it's not the product for me. The top-up option for the retail bonds has the funds fixed for 36 months. My capital is secured by the South African Reserve Bank. I can top up with 500 Rand or more every single month to add to the savings, and I'll earn 8.75% interest per year. So this almost meets all of the requirements. I want to save for 48 months, and these top-up retail bonds only fix the money for 36 months. This is where knowing my requirements again becomes so crucial. After these 36 months, when the retail bond matures, I'm going to take that 44,900 odd Rand and put that into a 12-month fixed multiple deposit account with Capitec. They'll earn 8.62% for that year, and I can continually top up the savings account as well. Doing this means we will end up with a little less than 60,000 Rand just in time for grade 1. Keep in mind, this 60K is before tax. Every year that I have these savings, I will need to pay tax on the interest that is actually made. How that's going to be charged will be based on my personal income tax rate. This leaves us with about 20K more than we need for his first year of primary school, which is a great position to be in. But I'm not done yet. I'm going to share a little secret on how I'm going to add an extra 18K onto that with just a little bit of clever budgeting. Instead of me paying the 2,050 Rand for 11 months that is required for his school fees, I budget 2,255 Rand for 12 months. Come October, his school fees are paid up for the year, and then in November and December, his school fees I'll use as a lump sum booster towards his savings. Doing this every year for the next 4 years means we'll have a little over 18,000 Rand extra, and this is before any interest has been applied. So that's the plan for saving for my child's primary school education. In 48 months, we'll see how it is that this unfolds and where it is that we are financially. You know, when I was going through this process, there were a bunch of other things that came up, questions and concerns that I had, like, will I still continue to earn interest on the savings if I die? Or what happens to these savings when I die? But I'll talk about that when I make a video about what's inside my death folder and the plans that I've made in the event of my untimely death. I hope you found this valuable, and if you do, consider clicking the like button so that more people can see it. And thanks again. You've been a great listener. Appreciate you tuning in. Until we meet again, take it easy.